they weren't real fast. They weren't quick to embrace some of the things. You know, you'd have people that would lose their job and they would go to the union pool. They were making up to 90% of their full-time pay, and they were not working. And they had the right of refusal, where even if a job opened up, if they had to move 100 miles, they had the right of refusal to say, no, I'm not going to take that job. I'm just going to stay here and collect my union pay at 90% of their full pay. I mean, it was incredible to see these people who hadn't worked for 4 or 5 years, like at AC Delco, you know, these different places like that. That was a big one, was AC Delco in Flint. And they could make 90% of their pay without having to go in and work, and just basic mathematics tells you that's going to be unsustainable. Well, what happened was you had a lot of that same mentality spill over into when the city government workers unionized, and then would contribute heavily to make sure and organize to make sure that the people they wanted got elected into, you know, different council places as mayor, and they were negotiating with themselves essentially. So of course they're going to give themselves the great deal. The biggest thing that's killed Detroit is the pensions. I mean, the taxes just kept going up and up and up and stifling everything. So everybody who had the ability to moved. And that's when you guys were talking about redlining. It was a cascade effect that, you know, that took Detroit from the highest per capita income back in the 50s and 60s. It was the highest paid per capita city in the entire nation. And, you know, now it's, like you guys say, it's a ghost town. And I think that's what happens when you have people in positions of power that, you know, quite frankly, they didn't have the qualifications, they didn't have an understanding of how business works.
Well, they understood capitalism, though, to the point where they can make money, you know, get certain people in certain places. So do you think that started in the 50s and 60s? Is that where it started, where the union started to take advantage of certain systems?
I think that's when it was. But now I want to be clear, too. I think it's crony capitalism. I hate crony capitalism.
Okay, that definitely is what it is. Yeah.
On either side, I don't care if you have an R&D in front of your name. It doesn't matter. If you don't pick the best person for the job, and you give it instead to, you know, this guy gave to my campaign, so I'm going to give him a good position. That's just stupid. You're slitting your own throat.
You're saying, like, you don't want to elect that guy for alderman to get him out of his cousin's basement.
Exactly. You know, and I've talked to, you know, some people there, you know, on your other network and, you know, one of the other shows there, and I'm seeing kind of the same thing in my situation where I'm at here down in Savannah, Georgia, where we have, you know, an alderman who's been accused of sexually abusing young kids, yet in order to protect the industry here, you know, here it's not production, it's tourism, you have a blackout. You have people in the media who are absolutely ignoring the fact that this guy is potentially, I'm being nice, I'm saying potentially. I personally interviewed enough kids that I believe it's absolute fact, but this guy's a potential abuser of young kids, and the media is refusing to cover it because they're trying to protect the industry of the town, which happens to be tourism.
Well,
you know, when you have people that start making bad decisions based on protecting an industry, whether it be, you know, government workers or you know, protection of an unwillingness to adapt in how you produce automobiles, or
just give the right person a job.
Well, I'm sorry not to cut you, but I do have a quick question for you. I wanted to know, from your perspective, since you are originally from Flint, Michigan, correct?
Well, my dad is. So I grew up going up there all the time.
Okay.
My grandfather was from up there, so yeah.
All right. So understanding that there's still money in Detroit, and knowing what you know, and you know, just experiencing life as a whole, do you see Savannah, Georgia, as going down the same route? And that's
absolutely, because the people that are running our city council right now, that are on our city government, so few of them have any kind of business experience. Unfortunately, it's a part-time position that these people have worked to turn into a full-time career. And so instead of attracting the best and the brightest, we have whoever had the time to run for a position.
So do you put the sole blame on the politicians?
You can't put the sole blame on them. You know, the citizens of the city, and I include myself in this in Savannah, sometimes you just don't pay attention. And then you sit up and you look around and you're like, holy crap, how did this happen? Well, it happened because we were apathetic. And we as a populace, pretty much across the board in America, unfortunately, I think have just suffered from a massive case of apathy where we don't sit there and ask the hard questions of, we're more like, well, what's this going to do for me right now? Not, how is this going to better our lives 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now? I don't care about right now. I mean, I don't want to say I don't care about right now, but we don't take this long-term approach, and we're paying for it.
You know what, John? Thank you so much. Thank you for your call, and thank you
I
for.
learned a lot from him.
Yeah, you really enlightened us, and the information you gave us on Flint, Michigan is great, and please keep listening.
Yeah, and also, John, though, that story that you talked about with the politician,
the alderman.
Alderman, we definitely would like you to, email us, contact us, and then we can move forward with that because, like I said, we are the voice of the voiceless. So, John, we look forward to hearing from you and moving forward. You have a great day.
All right, man, guys. I look forward to sending you some of that stuff.
All right. Thanks a lot, John. That was good.
All right, take care.
You too.
So, Anthony Cook, I know, Detroit and Chicago. You was making some comparison with that.
Yeah, I'm seeing the situation in Detroit, and like John was talking about, the pension system. Chicago's public pension system is going through a rough patch right now.
That's crazy. I didn't realize it was that detrimental.
Yeah, they're down at least $19.5 billion in their pension system, all their pension systems combined, and now they're in a situation where they have to do something about it. It's been so bad that the Governor Quinn of Illinois, at the end of July, held the lawmakers' weekly checks until they came up with an idea. Of course, the lawmakers came back and filed a lawsuit against the governor.
Yes.
But
I respect him. He even stopped his check, right? I mean, he said,
he said like this is a situation that we need to take care of, and we can't ignore this anymore. And part of the reason that they ignored this, that John alluded to, was that they just didn't want to deal with the situation. They are elected officials. They don't want to get unelected.
One of the things I just want to quickly say, because I know they hear the producer in the back turn on the music on me, but I think what happened was Detroit and Chicago, I think they were behind when the computer boomed. Because they had the automotive, especially for Detroit wanted to be more of a factory state.
They felt that it was so strong in that they didn't need to worry about the future.
Exactly. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well, too, though. But
all right. Well, public, you're going to have to take your award and leave the stage. We're about to go on commercial. If you have anything to say about what we've talked about so far, hit us up, 857-366-5444. We will be back. Minority Men Show.
I'm feeling you lonely, girl. You're all in my mind. I just want to get closer. Do you just want to take your time? I don't want to scare you. It's not in my plan to sleep with you only once. I want to be your man. We can just chill and conversate. Baby, what do you dream? You can tell me a lot about you. I tell you a little about me. I think that she feeling me. She grinding me real slow. She wants to come home with me. She think that I don't know. It's something about you. It's the way that you groove. I've been digging yours. And I would like to have to dance with you. But do you have a man? And what side of town you stay on? Can we dip for the night? Skip work tomorrow, cuddle up and stay home. I just want to be in your presence. And I'm open to any of your suggestions. Where would you like to go? If you give me your time, I'll try to find the lines to convince you to be mine, girl. We can drive to the beach, or we could just chill and cruise, or we can fly out tonight and do the things young lovers do. We can lie in the sand. My hands all in your hand. If I had the chance to be your man, my hands would be everywhere.
Welcome back to the Minority Men Show. We're back with the panel. We just finished talking about go ahead,
Hey,
go ahead. Say what you got to say,
listen.
man.
People
You know, somehow he got out of the restraints. He got out of the basement, and he made his way into the studio. But we made peace because
I broke away from the chains. But my man Anthony Cook. People out there, man, I threw him under the bus today, and he's doing a real good job. So I just want to thank Anthony Cook live on air. That he's doing a phenomenal job. He's holding it down, but he got to stop saying show.
Did I keep saying show?
You do keep saying show.
But you know what?
Signature.
Ladies and gentlemen, mark the date. What is it? August 18th, 2013. Public gave me a compliment. Let's just save this date and cherish it. Anyway, we are back. We've been talking about Chicago and their financial situation. We also mixed in a little bit of what's going on in Flint, Savannah, Chi-Town, and now we're going to move on and we're going to talk about. We're kind of still on the political sense because we want to talk about what do we want to see in the future mayor of Boston, because we have 12 candidates left, if I'm right. Right?
Yep.
We have
12 candidates running. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 12 candidates, and I know nothing about any of them.
Well,
that's me personally. So what do you guys chime in?
Well, I mean, about a few of them because the ones that have the bulk of the campaign support, those are the ones that's going to be more visible.
So you're saying Dan Connolly has a lot of money?
Well, I mean, I don't know personally. I don't know his bank account.
He got a commercial on like every 2 minutes.
I see him on YouTube. I see him on TV.
He's
Dan?
everywhere.
I haven't seen
definitely.
anything about Dan.
I seen his
Dan's
signs.
a DA,
He's in the
right?
hood.
Is he the DA?
He locks up most of the people who live there. He's in the hood. He's everywhere.
The people, they know about him.
Yeah.
I've seen Mr. Barrows, but when you say what you're looking for in the next mayor, I think a game plan for me. I think it's most important for a mayor to have a game plan, not just say the typical, oh, we're going to change this, we're going to change this, we're going to do that. No, for me, public, I need you to have concrete steps. What I mean by that, one of the most important things that any mayor, to me right now, who is running, should be harping on is the school system, the Boston public school system. We had a show about that last year, and it surprised me to find out how much they have as a budget. $89 million?
It's the largest budget.
It's the largest budget in Boston is the school systems. And the Boston
Dude, what do they do with it?
That's my question. And I think any mayor, so if a mayor is going to talk and want my vote, they need to pave a way for the school systems to make it better, to make sure that we as the community feel secure in sending our kids there. Why should I have to work and then send my child to the private school because I don't feel comfortable?